Hey guys, this is Scott again. So lesson 12, all right? Remember, I had already previously said in the last video that now we're gonna start adding decimals with tenths and hundredths, okay? So let's look at it. Let's just jump right in, okay? Okay, so my normal announcement here to show you what our lesson's gonna look like, okay? And we'll just kind of jump right into it together. So I have 3/10 plus 4/100. All right. Automatically, what's wrong with this? Why can't I just dive right in? What's wrong? Why can't I just be like, hey, let's just add these across and make it a party? Because why? Because one is tenths and one is hundredths, and we can't just add them, right? We have to find our common denominator. We already know how to do this, don't we? Already, right? What do I need to do to those tens to make it 100? So if I take my 3/10 and I want to make it into 100, what do I multiply by? I gave you a hint, we're multiplying. Bum-ba-da-dum, times 10. What I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So my new number is 30/100. And now I can take 30/100, right? And I'm just going to add 4/100 to it. Can I do that? You bet your bottom dollar. And I just like to stack and add. 30 plus 4 equals what? 34. So 34/100. Bam, right? It looks hard and it looks crazy, but all we have to do is take those tenths and turn them into hundredths by multiplying by 10. Can I get a 10? Yeah, buddy. Now, I need to write this as a decimal though. 34/100 as a decimal. How am I going to do this? Well, hundredths. So I know I don't have any ones. Okay. 34. That's it. Okay. Let's do the next one. Okay. Ooh, now I have 3/10 and 13/100. They did words this time. Well, I'm just going to write it out and let's see what I get, right? 3/10 plus 13/100. Dun, da, da, da. What do I have to do? I need to take my 3/10 and I need to turn it into 100, and I'm going to multiply by dun, da, 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 10. I'm going to multiply by 10. What I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So we know that we're going to get 30/10 or 30/100, I'm sorry. And now I can just add my 13/100, right? And what am I going to get? I'm just going to do a little work on the side because I like to line up my numbers perfectly. Okay. And again, if you're confused where I'm getting some of my digits from, my denominators are both 100, so I can now add them. So I'm taking this number and this number, and I'm just stacking them and I'm adding them. That's it. Okay. So I have 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So I have 43/100. And if I were to write that as a decimal, would be what? 0.43. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, let's try another one. The more examples, the better, right? All right, now I have 6/10 and 54/100. I knew it. I just have to multiply that 6/10. Let's do it. Let's start it up. 6/10, and we know we're going to multiply it by what? To make sure that I get it into hundredths, I'm going to multiply it by 10. I'm going to multiply it by what? 10. What I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. So I have 60/100 plus, now I'm going to bring this one down so that I can add it, which is 57/100. Okay. And what am I going to get? I'm just going to do my little work over here. I have 60 plus 57. Ooh, I have 117/100. Uh-oh. What's wrong with that? I think I heard somebody say it. It's improper. Right. So what am I going to do to it to make sure that I fix it? I'm going to make my little number bond, right? So to make a hole, I would need what? 100 pieces, right? So 100 100ths makes it so that I have a hole, right? We know that that equals 1. And then how many do I have left? If I used 100, pieces, I'm starting off with 107. I used 100 pieces, and I have how many left? I have 17 100ths left, right? So how do I express this new number? I should probably change up my color. Sorry, guys. Right? So I now have what? 1 and 17 hundredths. Okay? If I were to take that and I would turn it into a decimal, how would I write it as a decimal? 1.17, right? Perfect. This one's a little tricky. So we're going to do one more just like that where we have to break it apart, okay? And I know I'm talking a little fast, so whenever, stop, slow me down, wind it back, rewatch how I do it, okay? That's the beauty of watching a YouTube video. You can stop and start and redo it whenever you want. Okay, let's take this one. So I have 9/10 and 64 hundredths. You know what I got to do to that 9/10, right? My 9/10, I need to turn it right into hundredths, timesing it by 10. So I have 90 hundredths, okay? So now I'm going to bring down my other problem and I'm going to add my hundredths together. So I have 90 and 64 hundredths, okay? What am I gonna get? Let's use some of my space over here. 90 plus 64, 0 plus 4, 4, 9 plus 6, 15. So now my answer is what? 154 what? Hundredths, okay? Uh-oh, what do we notice again about this? Improper, so I need to bring it down, okay? If I'm working in hundredths, I know one whole is 100 over 100, which equals one whole. And then if I have 154, and I've already used 100 of them, how many is left? 54. So my other bond is what? 54 over 100. Okay, so if I were to express, what does that equal? It equals one whole and 54 hundredths. How would I write that as a decimal? 1 and 54 hundredths. Okay, just like so. Make sure that 1 is like a big hole so that we know that, okay? All right, guys, that's really it, okay? It all comes down to a few things, okay? It comes down to remembering that you need to multiply your numerator and your denominator by 10 when you're working with tenths to make them into hundredths. Remember, you have to find your common denominator, okay? And then if your fraction is improper, what do you need to do? You need to pull it apart and make it a mixed number, all right? This is all review stuff, guys, so we should be able to crush this, and I believe you're gonna crush this. All right, well, that is all I have for lesson 12, okay? I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you on Zoom. Hasta la vista.